We're looking at the next evolution in face protection in this episode of the Gear Guide. So let's face it, when it comes to face protection and eye protection and airsoft, especially the full face stuff, we kind of get the hand-me-downs from the paintball guys. And I'm not saying that's terrible, but there are a lot of things with airsoft that make it very different than paintball, especially the ability to, do the whole MilSim thing with the helmet and then also get that good sight picture. Put that weapon up to your shoulder and look down the sights. And both of those can be a bit of a challenge with pretty much every paintball mask on the market. So PDT Technologies has stepped up and answered that call with their Next Gen Headgear for law enforcement and airsoft training. So I know it looks just like a mask, but there's a lot going on here, and we're gonna start kind of at the top, work our way down, and go through all the features on this Next Gen Headgear, because there is a lot going on. So first up is this forehead protector here. It's curved, but it's also recessed. If you notice on most of the paintball style helmets, or most pretty much full face protection that do have some sort of forehead protection, it rides right out here at the front of the helmet. Well, this one's recessed back, and for a darn good reason. It's so it integrates with the helmet. This piece actually goes up inside of your helmet if you choose to wear one. If not, it still works just fine and nests in, giving you pretty much a seamless mold between your helmet and the mask. And I've actually tested with the OpsCore helmet, and I personally run a airframe and had no trouble at all getting this thing sized up and fit very comfortably. And if you're worried about comfort, and that's a big thing too, they've added a ton of closed cell foam here right on the back side of the actual visor, so when it's pressing against your temple, it's not going to give you any stress points or cause any pain. Moving on down to the goggles, you're looking at PDT's trademark dual lens technology. So this is your anti-fog lens. And if you guys have ever used single lens versus a dual lens setup, you'll know that a dual lens is incredible for helping to mitigate and keep that fog at a minimum. Now keep in mind, no mask or goggle or anything is perfect when it comes to anti-fog. I'm still looking for the perfect one, but right now on the market, the best thing you're gonna find is the dual pane lens, hands down, to keep it at bay. Also in the goggle itself, they really went ahead and thought on this one. So rather than have the straps actually attached to the very back of the goggle, which it looks like here, they're on hinges that actually attach a little bit closer around your eye line. Now what that does is it pulls the mask and the goggle back at this point rather than way back here on the side of your face, and that gives it a better seal against your eyes and your face and makes it more even across the full seal, so you're not getting a pressure point where it's maybe pulling right here on the side or putting a lot of stress right in the center of your face. So moving on to that strap we were just talking about, it actually goes around here twice. So, it connects here, it loops through and goes around the back. Now the back part goes through these little webbings around the ear protection here to keep them in place so it doesn't move up or down on the back of your head. The second strap, the outer strap, which has the adjustable pieces on it, go above that. So what you can do with this is now if you want to ride it a little higher on your head, or you want to bring it down a little lower on your head, depending if you're wearing a helmet or, different kind of helmet setups, considering like OpsCores and Team Wendy's have a different dial here in the back. You can move this and make it comfortable. Also by doing this, it kind of gives you double layer security, so this thing's not going to shift up and down as you move around. And the ear protection is big. This thing wraps nearly all the way around to the back of your head, so your field requires ear protection. You are set with this. And to let you hear through, underneath this strap, they do have some small, really small perked holes. I mean, nowhere near big enough to let a BB go through, so you can actually have a little breathability around your ears. If you're using a comm setup, it will still work over top of this. And of course, you can hear your opponents if you just run au naturel. And with comfort carrying all the way through, they did put more of that padding, just like on the temple, back over here that goes behind your ear, so you don't get that painful bite right back there by wearing a helmet for a long time. And then of course, rounding this thing out with probably the biggest thing you're gonna find of what I would call an innovation in a mask is this lower section. It's actually two layers. Underneath this mesh, you actually have the rubber, and it's got a lot of large vents in it, so it's a lot of good breathability for airflow. Because if you have it nice and sealed up, all that steamy breath has to go somewhere, and typically it kind of works its way back up in your goggles. Well, they've got you covered with plenty under here on the inside, but on the outside, to kind of deal with those large holes it's gonna be leaving where BBs could slip through, they put this mesh over top. And that breathable mesh does continue a little bit underneath here, so it takes those bleak shots, those ricochets you can catch from the bottom, like hitting your body armor or your plate carrier or something around the wall and coming up and hitting your chin. Well, they've got you covered there. They actually continue the mesh past the rubber on around to prevent those. But it's not just that, because remember I said this thing is fully compatible with the helmet, and the one most important thing about a helmet is you gotta have a way to keep it on your head, and that's the chin strap. Well, on this mask, they've allowed some openings here with Velcro, and you can actually run your chin strap through. Once your chin strap is all the way under here, you Velcro both sides down, it's on the left and the right. You can have the chin strap in place as well as your mask, and it will all fit correctly, other than having to run that chin strap over top of this and press it down. And then to round it all out, we were talking about that rubber and the ability to get that cheek weld with your rifle. Well, this is super actually squishy. It's that soft rubber, so it will give, and you can sight all the way down, even with iron sights. So guys, if you're looking for probably one of the best masks you can pick up, if you are hardcore into the MilSim, play a ton of CQB, or just enjoy the outdoor skirmish in the airsoft world, check out PDT's Next Gen Headgear, and you can pick this up anywhere PDT products are sold or at pdt-tech.com. So guys, what do you think of this? I've been looking for a mask for a very long time that checked all the boxes. I play a lot of MilSim, you know that. I run a helmet with my GoPro, and it's really been a challenge to have full face protection, along with the ability to get a cheek weld, anti-fog lenses, and then of course that ability to mash it up with a helmet and not leave a gap up there where you can take those rounds, which inevitably, I don't know if you guys even see on camera, I didn't run this the last game, and I did take one right there in the gap. Had I been running this, I wouldn't have this mark right here above my eyebrow. So I want to know what you guys think. Is this the answer to all your MilSim and CQB and skirmish worries, especially for those of you guys who run a helmet? I want to know your thoughts in the comment section below. Well guys, that's it for this episode of the Gear Guide. I'll be back in the next one where I find out if Luke really is my son or not.